Dear viewers, good evening. I'm Wu Qiong with CCTV, and I'm saying hello to you from Shanghai. So from the 17th to the 30th, it will be the first A Walk in Shanghai Festival, or Shanghai Mambo. So during this festival, 18 small stores will be hosting many activities, cultural activities, and today we come to the Daxue Road. This is only a road of about 700 meters, but it connects Fudan University and Zhengwan Gymnasium on the other side. I don't know if you can hear the noise. And we heard that this is also the Programmers' Day today, so a lot of programmers are actually celebrating on the other side of the road. Can you see the lightings over there? That is the Zhengwan Stadium. Now let's take a stroll at the side street of economy. And joining us today is Mr. Luo Wei, a very young musician. Thank you for the coffee. Thank you for the coffee. We know that during this Walk in Shanghai event, there will be a coffee cultural festival. So this is actually my first coffee in the autumn. Let's take a stroll. In Shanghai dialectic, the word 荡荡 means to take a stroll or to take a walk. I actually am a fan of you. You have written a lot of prose about music pieces that drew inspiration from the side streets of Shanghai. I believe that these side streets is a place where a lot of people would put their emotions in, and they would have a lot of beautiful memories in these places. This is a creative fair. We have some independent designers and some university students selling their handmade products here. It's a lot like the second-hand fair in the foreign countries. So the Daxue Road, unlike Nanchang Road or Huashan Road, that belongs to part of the historical streets, this is relatively a very young street. Most of the people who take a stroll here are young people or university students. It's like a hub that connects the universities with the society. So in everybody's heart, or in your alma mater, there has to be a street like this where you and your friends or classmates like to take a stroll after classes. The last time I visited here, it was very quiet, but today we see that this place is very vibrant, very crowded. As I mentioned, today is the Programmers' Day. They must be under a lot of stress. So happy Programmers' Days for them. Okay, now let's wait to go across the street. This is only a road of 700 meters, but it has 6 traffic lights. So it's not a very ideal place for you to drive by, but it's perfect to take a walk. I think this is a common feature of the side streets of many places in Shanghai. And you can take a stroll, wait for the traffic light, and really feel the pace of the city and these small streets. During this festival, there also will be a lot of street concerts. This afternoon, actually, I watched a small concert performed by the students of Shanghai Music Academy. There are performances of rock music and classic music. So if you draw attention from today's walk, you probably would it will probably be a bit rock and roll, yes? We see that most of the visitors here are young people. We can see that there are a lot of stands or vendors outside the stores. It's perfect for people to come here and sit outdoors and enjoy a coffee or a dinner. So this whole place is quite vibrant and lively. I think Shanghai is probably the only city that even in winter, a lot of people choose to sit outside and enjoy coffee or wine because these streets are just so mesmerizing. There are also a lot of creative stores. Let's take a look. This event is mainly for the stimulation of economy and consumption. Some of the vendors are students, and they start in college to be an entrepreneur and start their business when they're students. So it's a perfect platform for them. I don't know if you have a similar street in your college years. Well, I spend most of my time near the Shanghai Music Academy and one of a very history-loaded street, so I can really feel the economy, the history of the city and the culture of the city. I could hear people practicing violins or other instruments every day, every morning. So these side streets that is near to the city, near to the universities, would be a perfect place for you to relax and maybe make new acquaintances during your coffee. Take this place, for example. On the second floor, there are a lot of small stores that is perfect for you to talk to someone about your ideas and your businesses. So you can also consider this as a hub or a cradle for new companies, for startups companies and entrepreneurs. I saw a puzzle store as we walked by. There are other cafes and Chinese restaurant and Western restaurant. Here is another road called Daxue Road. It is very well decorated. As you can see, the walls are painted in yellow. Let's take a turn here. This really is a beautiful street. This is an interesting decoration. It's a post stand. We know that a lot of university students are huge fans of esports and computer games, so we can see some of the cultures here, some of the game cultures here. This is a post, a comic drawing, a doodle on the wall. So this is a poster for a personal exhibition of this person's artwork. I think during the epidemic, it must not be easy for a lot of the entrepreneurs. If we look that way, that's a furniture store, a very big one. Well, these side streets are far quieter than the main roads. Well, on the main road, you can feel this kind of very busy atmosphere, but if you just take a turn, like we did, you can really quiet down and have a conversation with the city and yourselves. This is another artwork that is made from special light settings. This seems to be a poem written by a kid. Well, like we said, people literally write poems on the streets. Some of these poems are written by university students. This is another child's drawing. Seems to be a picture depicting festive celebration. You can really have a lot of surprises as you walk by. Well, this is another, I think, art piece with the character or the word love. You can turn it yourselves. I think this small designs and artwork are really what make this street so special. This is a poem depicting the lunar festival, the Mid-Autumn Festival. I think this must be like a poem exhibition centered around the topic of autumn and Mid-Autumn Day. Look at this one. It's a poem written by Liu Yuxi. I think a lot of the paintings are drawn by kids. You can't really see these poems on daylight, but and in daytime, you can see actually more decorations. For example, there are some paintings on the wall that you can only see in daytime. So you can really have different feelings if you come here at different times of the day. This is a furniture store. I think it has a lot of beautiful wooden furnitures in it. In places like this, you can really slow down, appreciate this quiet feeling and quiet night. And you can even take a pause and read these poems about the moon, about mid-autumn. Let's take a look at one of the stores. Let's pay a visit. So we all have coffees in our hand. Coffee is not only a drink. It also has a lot of culture, a lot of stories in it. This is a cafe, an artist cafe, that is both a cafe store as well as a gallery. Some young artists would put their paintings here for sale. This is a personal artwork exhibition of the artist, the one with the poster that we just saw across at the corner of the street. So the design of our store is mainly facilitating people and to help people to have a coffee. We are appreciating these artwork. We can see some small panels here, smaller panels, and there are also drawings on fence. So you will be working with different artists to host these small-scale exhibitions. I have to say these are very well designed, very healing to appreciate actually. I think these are very lovely pictures that can warm your heart to some extent, just like what a cup of hot coffee would do to you. Well, a small store like this can really nourish your stomach as well as your heart. In Shanghai, there are a lot of conversations about the so-called side street economy. Unlike main street economy, this form of economy is more about niche market, about art, music, and culture. With the internet, even if you're a store that locates at a small street like this, people can still reach you through search engines on the internet, which is seamless. So, what is your favorite side street? I like Nanchang Road and Fenyang Road, which is near my school, near my university, and Huashan Road. These roads actually formed my roaming map in the past more than decades. So you feel really attached, yes, to these small streets. Well, yes, there are a lot of memories and moments of inspirations. Even when I walked in the street, some melodies would float to my mind. So they really are sources of inspiration for me. They may not be so busy, so commercialized, but these are very exquisite and beautiful places that seems to be more mesmerizing and attractive to you. We can see a doodle wall. Over here, this is a cat. You can see that this seems to be a DJ, yeah? This DJ is playing the disc on the mouth, on the face of the cat. Very interesting art piece. Seems that we can't stop, but we can't help ourselves but take a pause and take a look. Art pieces like this can be found everywhere in Daxue Road, and it has to do with the imagination and creativity of the young entrepreneurs and college students here, and a lot of young artists, it seems. Now let's go back to the main road. Well, this place is really well visiting for different age groups as well, because you have different ways to, or different locations for young people and for senior citizens as well, or even for mom and dads who can take their kids here. That must be a very hot spot because you can see people are lining up to get in. Well, last year I came here after seeing a ballet performance, and had dinner there. But I had a different feeling at that time. As I mentioned, you can visit this place at day and at night, and you would have different feelings. You can see that a lot of the stores are crowded and people are lining up and waiting in queues. Well, the first half of the year must be very hard for these restaurants, but it's glad to see that most of them are back to business. A lot of Shanghai local residents would come a long way just to have a taste of a cup of coffee that they like. You must be an addict of coffee, yes? Well, I normally make coffee myself, but we see that some of the a lot of the cafe stores, the cafes are making coffee that is far better than the one that I made myself. So for these baristas, I would love to come a long way just to take a taste, just to have a sip of their handmade coffee. These are a lot of small stores in which actually a lot of entrepreneurs would put their dreams. I actually thought about opening up a cafe somewhere in Shanghai, but I think I have shifted my attachment to coffee, to my attachment to music, as another way to console people. I think this is really a good feeling to take stroll here with a cup of coffee in your hand, and listen to your own music, and while appreciating some of the drawings on the wall. This is quite a personal time to all of you. I actually made an album myself. I think I've just have released a record that is specially made for the strolling and roaming on the streets. We have viewers asking, what is the business hour of this place? Well, I think at least 11:30. So feel free to come here at night. We can see some decorations on the streets and on the trees at the side of the streets. This is another very lovely store. This is a store of music boxes. So each street would have its own voice and music. While as a musician, I'm really interested in stores like this, because this is not only a store for music boxes, it also have this kind of special printing machine from which you can print out. You can print out the music stores in it. So this is a happy birthday song. This is not fully printed. You can write your own music, your own notes on it. And then if you roll the handle, the music will come out. This is really a beautiful small store with a lot of very intricate music boxes. Well, the city of Shanghai and the streets in Shanghai has a lot of connections with music. I think you've taken strolls in many small streets, and you can find music in every corner of the street. The whole city is nourished by music pieces. You can see musicians play at the side road. You can appreciate a concert as you walk. In Sinan Road, for example, you can see cello playing, and some of them play flutes. And the musicians are also of different age brackets. We can see young people playing more popular music and musicians of the senior citizens. They would play some traditional music or old songs. You can see different stores in this Daxue Road. With different commodities to be sold. We would really love to take you to more small stores like this and cafes. This is also a store related to music, I think. Is this a live house? Well, you can see that the opening hour of this cafe is until 2 a.m. So feel free to come here at night and enjoy your drinks and music. Actually, the Daxue Road is only a road of 700 meters, and if you continue to walk, that would be Fudan University. And people would consider this street part of the university that connects university students with the actual society. People can enjoy life here. Well, dear viewers, today, due to time limit, that's all for our live stream in Daxue Road. So feel free to come here and enjoy the street view of Shanghai and feel the warmth of the city and autumn. Thank you and goodbye.